They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. It's the fullback. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right. It got his man complete. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston. Tevin Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him, Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Forced out to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second down following the incompletion. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Rolling to his right. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. And Bullock will put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
This is Coleman, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Corey Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Shift together here from the D-line. Prescott now on 2nd down. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
We have so many different terms for 3rd down, 3rd and short, 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. How about 3rd and medium? Because that's what this one was. The defense looked like they had him hemmed in, but he gets away, evades the rush, and picks up just enough for the first down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. First down, a run with Smallwood. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Their dangerous wide receiver hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And he's got his man on the out route. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Houston. Their dangerous wide receiver with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
They're going to look to throw, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Certainly some contact there, and that's why there's a penalty on the defender for pass interference.
So hard to time it up for a defender to hit the receiver when the ball arrives. Got there a little bit early on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 3rd down now following the completed pass. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This is Coleman with a grab. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A strong running. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game. He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Now Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Throwing, Prescott. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll run it now out of the gun. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
And partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
So it's only 3 points on this opening drive of the third quarter. And even though that stretches out the lead, Charles, I think you'd have to consider this a win for the defense, no?
Couldn't agree more, Brandon. That offense got themselves in prime position to really open up this ball game, but the drive stalled out. And yeah, 3 points is very easy to get back in today's NFL.
And here comes the Texans now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. 2
yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Second down following the run.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Prescott now on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott, and it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And now they're in the hurry up. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up third and about 6.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. A good pickup there, a 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out comes Houston. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Prescott on first down. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He's got time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And quickly, they get to the line. Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And he connects with Ertz. That one good for 10 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it. And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. To throw is Prescott. Drops it off for Coleman. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jermaine Gresham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And the Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 points?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And the defense almost got one there, partner.
It could have been his first pick. He's been good so far, but you're right. That was nearly a costly mistake.
Sometimes you get a little bit too confident when the game's going along as it has been for him.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger, a really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Prescott now from the 50. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when
a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So we've got a 2nd and 5. They come out here in the I. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now out comes Houston. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No. Agree with you, and this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done, and in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And they're going to speed things up here. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And that one? Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Indianapolis, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Tech.
Select the team you want to join. Don't worry, you'll be able to choose the role you plan in just a second. Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the right.